Hello, my Jason O. Welcome to my anime review for Little Witch Academia. And so, with Space Patrol Luluco ending a couple weeks ago, there was an announcement after that there would be a Little Witch Academia TV anime series. So, very excited for that. Also, with other announcements as well, sort of semi-announcements, with Susie being part of the series, Space Patrol Luluco, and Luluco being a sort of a mascot-y type of character for the Trigger Animation Studios. So, basically, the mascot sort of validating the whole Trigger universe per se, there with all the Trigger nods that were in Space Patrol Luluco. I decided to review the anime movie, a little short anime movie of Little Witch Academia. You can find this on Netflix. It's very short. I think it's like a half hour long at the most, and it's a very fun series, and it's very well animated, high quality animation at its finest. And the team behind this is all Trigger in-house. All these animators, directors, and script writers, they all were a part of Trigger, with Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill being the main two anime series they worked on. And so, a very good series, probably one of the best Trigger works that they have. So you might be asking yourself, what is Little Witch Academia all about? Well, according to the My Anime List synopsis, it goes like this. In her admiration of shining chariots, a famous witch renowned for unorthodox yet enchanting spells, Kaguri Ako, an ordinary girl, joined Witch Academia in the hope of someday becoming a spectacular as shining chariots. She's determined to become a graduate of Witch Academy and make her dream come true despite not being from a lineage of witchcraft and wizardry. And the story takes place with Ako, along with two best friends, Lotte Jonsson and Susie Manboveren, take their first lessons to become witches. However, Ako is furious when she finds out that Shining Chariots is not as popular in the world of the witches as she had thought. And so, obviously with the synopsis, it's a magical girl anime of sorts in some sort of ways. They don't really refer to them as magical girls, mostly as witches, and they're not really the stereotypical villainous witches as we typically see in many other pop culture works. They're more of the Harry Potter sort of witches and wizards as we've seen there, like a Hermione Granger type. You can think about that, especially with one of the other characters, Diana, who is a very tsundere type, but not very overtly tsundere. And I do like that about this series, how it doesn't really go to the cliches and the character tropes that we typically see in other anime. That there is little to no fan service, so if you were turned off by the fan service of Gurren Lagann and Kill la Kill, Little Witch Academia has little to no fan service at all. The other characters don't really follow any tropes or archetypes, the dere types, as is typically shown in the other Trigger works. As we do see, there aren't really many of those. The characters are basically their own characters. We have Ako, the main character, who really wants to become a witch, but again, as the synopsis describes her as, she is not really of a lineage of any sort of wizard family of sorts there. But still, Ako is determined to do her best. Try to become like her idol, Shining Chariots. I do like how one of the other characters, little spoiler alerts here, but Diana, the character who sort of besmirks Ako for liking Shiny Chariot because she is seen as a gimmick and more of a sort of a salad in some sort of ways, bad embarrassment to the witches, what they actually are. She turns out to be actually a fan of Shiny Chariots, as we do see in the beginning of that, beginning of the movie at least. We see a little girl Diana along with little girl Ako as well, and we see those two in the beginning of the movie separately in different seats. And I mentioned in the beginning how the people behind this, the creators, the animators, the script writers, and all of that, how they were a part of the Trigger in-house studio before. The director, the animation director, and the character designer for this series, in Yo Yoshinari, he was the key animator for a couple episodes of Kill la Kill, also did a second key animation for an episode of Kill la Kill as well. He did key animation for Neon Genesis Evangelion, and then eventually did some key animation for Gurren Lagann, also the mechanical designer for Gurren Lagann as well. And so he really was the one that got to do his own idea, and Little Witch Academia was able to put that idea into fruition thanks to fan support as well. They got a sequel made after that, and so really cool to see that the fans embraced this series, because through a Kickstarter, the fans helped this little small series get its own sequel after that through a Kickstarter that went way over its estimated what they wanted for the money of this, and so really cool to see the fan support, and also to give credit to other people on the staff who worked on Little Witch Academia. Masahiko Otsuka, who worked on the script for this series. He worked on Fruits Basket, Kill la Kill, chief producer Keith Naiva, Neon Genesis Evangelion, episode director of that, obviously Gurren Lagann as well. You had Takafumi Hori in the key animation for this series, one of the key animators for this series at least. He worked on Kill la Kill, Naruto Shippuden, Samurai Champloo as well. Mai Yonehama is the main key animator for this. She did an episode of Bleach, obviously Keith Naiva, Sword Art Online as well. She worked on Medeka Box as well, and so really interesting works that everyone worked on for the key animators. And you see those influences there within this series, the fluid and high quality animation that you do see, and especially the set pieces and the action scenes. You know, the big climax at the end is really well done, especially with Akko standing out as the hero of sorts. And you do see that a lot of efforts was put into this, a lot of hearts was put into this, and you do see all that through the animation. It's really cool to see how the animation can actually tell story in some sort of ways, in terms of the animators telling their own story, actually do a passion project that they are really 100% all behind. So if you're looking for something different, and also, you know, something that isn't really following the typical mainstream trends of anime with the dede types, you know, different cliche for characters. I mean, I guess it's a fairly cliche story in some sort of ways, but still, if you're into like wizardry and, you know, if you're into Harry Potter, all that other stuff there. Also, most of the cast is all female, and so that's pretty cool as well, to see an all-female cast, you know, strong female characters as well. Not only Akko, but also Susie Latte. She's mostly featured in the second film, which we're doing a separate review on, but she does show up a little bit more in the second film. But Diana is a really great character, one of my favorite characters of this series, which is why I can't wait for the TV anime series to see more of Diana and Akko sort of clashing, but also working together at the same time. So it's really cool to see that dynamics between the main character and Akko, and also a sort of main antagonist of sorts in Diana, but she's still more of a friend towards the group as well, rather than an antagonist. But still, the way she acts is sort of tsundere-like, but not overtly tsundere. So it's really cool to see that there is sort of the tropes and the cliches of characters, but it's not too overtly so. The characters are allowed to actually be characters, and you do see them for who they are, and so it's really cool to see all that. And so for rating Little Witch Academia, 8.5 out of 10. Really a fantastic series in terms of animation, story, and all the other technical aspects as well. It's also pretty fun, and it's really short as well. Again, at most a half hour of your time is dedicated to this. I watched this on Netflix. The English dub's pretty decent, and also the Japanese original dub of that is pretty cool as well. And so you can watch this either way, either through the Japanese or English versions of either. Netflix has both, and they're both pretty well done for the voice acting, I would say. And so have you already seen Little Witch Academia? Put your thoughts in the comment section down below on that. Are you interested in Little Witch Academia at all in terms of the TV series, or if you've seen our Space Patrol Luluko and Susie in, I believe, episode 5-ish, you know, somewhere around that place there. So what are your thoughts based on Little Witch Academia? Put all your thoughts based in the comment section down below. Don't forget to rate this video as well, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching my anime review for Little Witch Academia. Hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.